Welcome, everybody. This is obviously Premiere 2022, and we're excited to be talking about global scholars. And let me, I'll introduce myself, and then what my colleague then will introduce herself, and then we'll give you the overview of not only the program, but then we want to uh, be able to leave time for your questions because we want this to be something that you're actually taking things away and not just a very fancy way to give you a leaflet or something like that. So my name is Bo White. I am the director of the study abroad within the Center for Global Engagement, and I've been at Baylor since 2016.
And my name is Lauren Poor. I'm a senior lecturer in the Department of History, as well as director of the Office of the Core in the College of Arts and Sciences. And I'll be serving as the faculty director for the Global Scholars Program in fall 23 in Dublin. I'm really excited. So nice to see you all.
Okay, so let me go to Dr. Poor. Let's go to the next slide. Let me introduce this in a way by way of encouragement. You don't have to do college like everybody else. And I say that in all seriousness. This is not meant to be sort of a way to sound trendy or to way to sort of sell you on something different. As much as what Global Scholars Program is really a different way of doing your 4 years. It's really not just a separate experience where you start in Ireland and you go, well, that was nice, and it's out of the way. It really is meant to really press the accelerator on both your opportunities that that you're exposed to, as well as to give you a really a different vision of how to do your 4 years at Baylor University. You'll see sort of the tagline here in terms of bridges, expanding boundaries, but we really want this to be a way of life, and which is why it really is a 4 year program and not just a time abroad. It does start in Dublin, Ireland, and it is for globally minded students. I won't read the whole thing, but I do want to highlight some things. It is for globally minded students who want a non-traditional, that's picking up on what I just said, start to their freshman college experience. I will actually submit to you that it's a non-traditional way of actually doing your whole 4 years. And that this will become really clear as we go through the entire program. But as a global scholar, and we had to call it something, right? So some of you guys have already traveled, so you're already global citizens. You will travel and study abroad to undertake research with a faculty mentor when you return, and then you're going to do community engagement. And I think what we want is at the end that you feel like truly that Baylor has not only a footprint around the world, but that Baylor has, like its vision says, really truly prepared you to take a job anywhere, to be engaging anywhere that God puts you. Um, Let me highlight the third part first. You will develop as global citizens with the skills and knowledge base necessary to thrive in an increasingly global workforce. What's really cool, and here's in reverse, I want to say you get specialized opportunities for faculty interaction. And here's where I want to pause and put Dr. Poor on the spot in the sense that not only is she going to be in resident, so you're going to be actually with Baylor faculty from the beginning. You're just going to be with Baylor faculty somewhere else. Dr. Poor, I want you to sort of give a little bit of your connection to Irish history,
Sure.
Ireland a little bit, but then also since this has about something to do with research abroad,
Sure.
maybe a little bit about how first year students will encounter things like the core in undergraduate research.
Sure, absolutely. So, as I mentioned a moment ago, I'm a senior lecturer in the Department of History, and my actual area of research and teaching and interest and kind of my background and my educational experience is on British history and Irish history. So, going to Ireland with all of you, this is a place that I'm quite familiar with. I've done a lot of work in, traveled in, but then heritage wise, both myself and my husband are both Irish Americans. And so it's really exciting opportunity for us to bring Baylor students and all the things that make Baylor great. One of which is the availability of our students to really get to know faculty from the first semester as freshmen. And so one of our goals is for you to not lose that opportunity. So you will get to know myself and my husband who will be joining us, and our twin boys who are huge Baylor Bear fans. And so we're going to keep up the traditions of Baylor and such. But as part of your experience there, as Dr. White just mentioned, we're going to be through my class, which is called The U.S. in Global Perspective, A Nation of Immigrants. It's looking at immigration history in the United States in a global context. And we're really going to kind of dive deep into Irish American history and kind of the Irish components of that class by actually going to the Immigration Museum, right? We're going to visit a farm is my hope, in which we're going to talk about the potato famine in the 19th century. We're going to be able to kind of go out into the community and really bring our studies to life. And we're going to do it as a group, and just it's going to be an awesome experience. And then as part of that, that course is one of the 5 required courses of what we call the Common Core classes in the College of Arts and Sciences. It's a course that actually most units at colleges at Baylor require, or at least allow as part of their general education requirements. So regardless of what you want to major in, even if you're a business major or a major outside of the College of Arts and Sciences, this course will count in towards your degree, as will the other course that is part of the common experience that you'll be able to take, and that is Christian scripture, so religion 1310. And that's another common course, again, that is required and accepted throughout Baylor as part of the general education requirements. So those are both courses that you would need even if you were here at Baylor. But what it allows us to do, right, is that another Baylor colleague of mine will be teaching the religion course as well as chapel, and you'll be able to take that course and embed it into the experience and life of living in Ireland, living in Dublin. And so we're really excited because we kind of walk alongside you all through this interactive experience.
So just want to underline 2 things again that Dr. Ford just said. You're going to take what is required. These are not just extra, these are not add-on. This is not just a standalone experience, but required courses in a location that allows you to truly start to see the world through the lens of really the values that Baylor is bringing to the table, which is access to faculty, connected to that Christian mission that you've heard about already, and truly when you get back, then you're going to take that relationship you've built with Baylor faculty and now start building bridges with other Baylor faculty around a research project when you get back. So all what we're excited about is and as we speak, 21 students are currently abroad as global scholars. They did their first watch party with the Iowa State Baylor game, and so we do stay connected, and I think that that will come up as we get to the calendar or sort of the overview in this. Oh, there we are. This is what it looks like. And again, it's a different way of doing college, which is very exciting. I was very fortunate myself. I'm a first-gen college student. My family did not come from Ireland. We came from the Netherlands. I took my kids to see my grandfather's name at Ellis Island last summer. And but we're families from the province of Groningen, to be specific. But what it's been my study abroad then was split between England and China my junior year, and to have the opportunity to sort of start this way allows us to sort of open things up. So you'll notice a second international experience in your 3rd year. Between those 2 experiences, where you're starting in Ireland and then you're going to go back, is this development of a research project with a faculty mentor. The really cool thing is that if you go to some students will go to other research institutions and may have to try to hunt down, or they're asking to, well, so you introduce me to some faculty member. Right away you're getting connected to Baylor faculty who can introduce you to other Baylor faculty. So that, I think, is also something unique to the program that you're not going to experience elsewhere, that you're going to want a faculty reference at some point in your life. Just trust me on that one. You're going to want access to people who are truly experts in their field, and that's what you're starting with. And that, as you sort of see this sequence for 4 years, you're really being consistently exposed to faculty who are experts in their field, and they're going to encourage you to dive deeper into not just your academic experience, but connecting your academic experience to uh, a project that you can feel really good about at the end, something that you can take with you. So it does begin in Dublin, Ireland. We picked Dublin, and we get this question a lot. Why did we pick Dublin? In a lot of ways, Dublin allows us to have a minimal language barrier in a culture that is friendly to the US and in a city that has a lot of amenities and with a lot of access to that. So they're my take on it. The really sort of fancy words are in there as well, but I think those are the low hanging fruit for those. Let me jump down to the cost part because some of you are interested in this. And I've mentioned some of the other ones already. It is a very similar cost to Waco. Uh, Again, if your scholarships will apply, your financial aid applies, and you're immediately going to get a this sort of cohort, close knit feel with 20 to 40 other Baylor students who are starting in the same way and doing the same thing. Um, I think that's what I want to say on that. And then we'll go to Dr. Pord. Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, just to reiterate, not only kind of do I have experience in this area, excited, I too studied abroad. I do a lot of research. I go back to the UK at least once a year to do research. And then lived in Spain for a year as a student. And so this experience I'm quite familiar with. And it's been honestly a dream of mine to be able to share this with students, this love of not just travel, but studying abroad. And so all of the ways in which we are going to kind of bring you out into the Dublin community. We're also going to prepare you for all the things that Dr. White mentioned about what's going to come in your Baylor experience about research. So we're going to talk about what does that look like. We're going to go to one of the kind of archives in Dublin and look at a library and what that might look like in different areas that you might be interested in studying and researching. So we'll kind of introduce you as it starts your academic journey at Baylor.
So Dr. Porter's already mentioned the History 1300, Religious 1310. Let me make a comment on GBL 1102. It isn't meant to, this is simply a series, a reflection piece that allows you to connect there to here and to start thinking about what does it mean to not just be culturally engaging, but to be able to, the way I like to frame it is that you're able to go in to cross borders a little bit easier later on. And that might be because and this is under the heading of mobility, right? So some of you are going to want higher paying jobs at some point in your life. You're going to work with people who may disagree with you, things of that nature. Those are all cultural issues. And those are workplace has their own cultures. Every institution has its own culture. So what you're getting right away is those skills to sort of go in and out of things. And if you can navigate a completely different country, you can navigate a job interview really well. The other thing I want to point out in that's sort of not on this slide, but something that I just want to remind you of is as you go through this program, it's going to jump out at future employers. And this is maybe something your parents would be interested in. Still, after all of the research and all of the encouragement to have students engage other cultures, 9.3% of students study abroad, which means about 90% of your colleagues will not try this. So fast forward in 4 or 5 years where you're looking for a job, this is immediately going to stick out to your future employer. You did something that 90% of the other applicants just are not doing. Um, yeah, let's look at the next couple ones. We covered cost. It is going to be similar, but here's the timeline. So we want to encourage you to express your interest sooner than later because that you get the most support when you do that, and you get the most help. And Baylor has people that get up in the morning and think about this program all day, and that's the unusual part about this experience for 4 years. I tell students this all the time. people actually get paid to help you at this phase of your life. So take advantage of that. And so summer orientation online camp will start next summer. And so you will go through what all Baylor students go through, only as they prepare to come to Waco, you're preparing to go to Dublin. Classes will begin in mid-September. You return home in time to show off your pictures for Christmas. You're going to have a pretty cool Christmas card next year. Attend reentry welcome weekend in early January, and then you're back to spring classes starting in 2024. You must be an admitted freshman to or first year student to Baylor. You must be 18 by September 1st. And if that's some of you come from maybe exceptional backgrounds in that, and we can take that case by case, but that is our preference at this point, and it makes it just easier when you're abroad. Let me point out the email at the bottom there. Global scholars at Baylor.edu should be added to your mailing list so we're not spammed, as well as you can use that email address if you have any questions at all, which I think is what we want to do now. Cameron, what questions do folks have?
Yeah, so we have a couple in the Q&A. The first one is from Elena, and she asked, will we be able to take foreign languages as global scholars? And if so, what are our options?
I'm gonna actually, that's a softball over to Dr. Poor on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the great things about this program is that you're going to be taking these required classes that we talked about that Baylor faculty, myself and my colleague will be offering. You might have seen in that list of courses, something it's called an lifetime fitness aerobic walking that I'm going to be doing, where we're going to kind of walk all around Dublin and see really exciting sites. And you're going to get credit for that. And that's also required as part of your general education. So again, not a wasted effort. But when it comes to foreign languages, the other wonderful thing about this experience is you're going to have the opportunity to enroll in a couple of courses at our university partner in Dublin. So my understanding is that you'd be able to, if foreign language is something that you're interested in, want to major in and follow, to be able to explore those course options at our partner university that we'll be offering these classes at while we're there next fall. Is there another question we can help with, or?
Yeah, there's a
Aubrey,
second one that
yeah.
just popped up. And so this one's from Aubrey. And so she asked if you've already completed some of the courses that would be completed in Dublin, History 1300, for example, through the Accelerate program, are there replacement options for a different course, or would a lighter course load be the only option?
It's a great question. Do you
Yeah,
want to
it
answer
is.
that, Bo?
And I think we both, so I want to sort of go back to something Dr. Port said in terms of this is a partial fulfillment of the core, but there are still other courses to take in the core.
Mhm.
And yeah, of course, if you've already taken that, we're not going to force you to you have to take the course you've already. That's actually impossible anyway. We're not going to grade you twice on that Accelerate program in the summer. So well done. But yeah, we will allow that, and that's the benefit of having Baylor faculty on site. Baylor faculty do teach more than one course, and they are that is something we can explore whether through a readings course, other core options, and it is a good question, and but it's something that we're very excited that you're already engaging with Baylor, and we can totally work with you on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, we just had another question come in from Elena. And so she asked, is it possible to do Global Scholars as well as the Honors College or Hankomer Scholars?
Yes, and you should. Uh, I mean, that's the really simple, straightforward answer. You
Mhm.
absolutely can do both. Dr. Poor, would you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, I mean, I offer courses through the Honors College, and I often have honors students in my classes. And so we have a very close partnership and work with across these colleges, especially with the Honors College. And again, as for Hankomer, right, that would be the School of Business. If you are interested in business or double majoring across things, what's wonderful about the courses that we're offering as part of this Global Scholars experience is that they are courses that are accepted by the Baylor, the business school, excuse me, the Hankomer School. So that they are, again, it's not a wasted credit. This is all going to be accepted towards your full kind of graduation requirements as a student at Baylor, regardless of the Honors College, right, business school or ANS.
Yeah, and my 2 cents on that is that this is only going to accelerate your honors college uh,
Yes.
experience because you're going to have some. I think you're going to probably have to have a writing project, thesis, or capstone within honors as well. And this research component. The entire program will fit really
Mhm.
well with what we're
Mhm.
what you're trying to do.
Absolutely. And we can always make the courses that you take honors credit
Yep.
through various ways. So a lot of options.
Awesome. Our next question is from Romy, and they asked, what colleges do you partner with in Dublin? Is Trinity College Dublin one of them?
Yeah, it's a great question. Trinity's the most famous one that I think people have seen pictures of. We do not have sort of a formal agreement with them as of yet. With the two that we've worked with the most has been Dublin Business School and University College Dublin. The cool part about University College Dublin is it is currently the most international school in all of Ireland. It has a campus. We send students there every semester, um, and people will have access to a lot in that curriculum. So I think that I'm well aware of Trinity. Trinity's being downtown, but it's University College Dublin. We have a robust partnership. And the cool part about UCD and Dublin Business School, for that matter, is that they are they have just a very eclectic feel to them in the student body, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah. And my hope is that we will, as a group, visit Trinity College
Oh yeah.
and their library and such like that. So we'll definitely be a part and around that college's experience as well. It's the beauty of
To the
Dublin.
student that asked that, um, here's my shameless plug. If you're doing this a study abroad session next. Um, and you know the scope of this program. So do University College Dublin for this first one, then go back and do Trinity your junior year.
That's a great idea. And then our next question is from Jake, and he asked, what if you have 2 years of undergrad done already before your freshman year?
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah,
question.
it's a good question. I think I'll make a quick comment and Dr. Poor can chime in as well. If by credit you mean like a lot of AP credits, or if you feel like you're bringing in like thousands of credits from your high school or something, um, it doesn't necessarily change the offerings on this. Is my initial thing. You're going to still have access to this, and on one level, that's my first point. The second point is even if you bring in a lot of credits, you got to look at this as a 4 year scope and sequence, and not just as what am I doing first semester. So what I'm going to push everybody that's sort of listening to us today is to think what this is allowing you to do is this is really train tracks that sort of take you through that accelerate some things during your experience at Baylor, and we're sort of asking you that this is a really amazing start. It's a really sort of thing that's going to be profoundly memorable. And at the same time, it sets you up for other things that are beyond that. Dr. Poor?
Yeah, the only thing I would add to that is with regards to the fall semester in particular, the beauty of the courses that we're offering is that even if you had, and this is only applicable to the College of Arts and Sciences, but the College of Arts and Sciences with the common courses, there's 5. There's 2 religions, scriptures and heritage, English 2310, which is American literary cultures, the history course that I'll be offering, US and global perspective, and the political science course, which is 1387. Those 5 courses we call our common courses, and we require them of every student in arts and sciences, regardless of what you bring in. But what is amazing, so when you take these courses, they're going to count no matter how many credits you bring in. But the beauty is, right, that our unified core curriculum, which is now in its 4th year of implementation, has lowered the credits required for general education. So when you're bringing in all those other credits, they have places they count in many other places of our general education requirements. So it's really doesn't hurt you at all. In fact, as Dr. White just said, this can only set you up for success. So no wasted time or effort as part of the courses that fall as well.
And then our last question here is from John, and he asked, is this a 1-semester program or a 1-year opportunity?
Um, it's a it's a 1 semester start, like accelerant. So you start your first semester in Dublin, and then you will return to Waco and then your second year is typically in Waco, and then you're going to spend that third year somewhere else. Now, uh, it just says faculty member. You're not bound to just sort of stay in Waco. If you want to go back to Oxford or
St.
Australia or
Andrews.
others for your spring semester second year, that's totally fine. If it's going to be something you work out. Um, but we're just asking you that second or third year you're considering going back, and you can go back for 2 weeks, you can go back for 2 semesters. So this initial part, though, to your question, John, is that the Dublin part is that first semester, but it is meant to be sprinkled throughout your experience at Baylor. Did I? And let me know if I didn't answer your question. There's another one pop up.
John says thank you.
Oh yeah, no worries.
All right, I think that's all the questions that we have.
Which is good. I think y'all, thanks for coming. I think we're almost right at time too. So that, thanks for whoever timed that well. Well done, Cameron. But I think that, let me just reiterate sort of what you see before you in terms of your journey. You're all trying to make decisions that are both something that's a little bit immediate and something that's down the road. Students often are trying to make a decision for the immediate. But what I think is really cool about this program is it really does help you do both that initial memorable experience that you can't get at a lot of places, and also takes that experience all the way through your 4 years. And all 4 years of this program, it is thinking about your future. You guys all know and probably have friends, maybe you have siblings that went to college and they still are like, I'm not sure how do I do a research project. I'm not sure how do I connect with this and that. All of those connections are made this very first semester, and that takes you through your Baylor experience, so that by that fourth year, you actually have something to offer in a research project and in a symposium that we'll have that you get to show to other people. You have something to take with you, very tangible, very concrete, with a network of relationships. You're going to have 20, 30 students immediately, but also a network of faculty that you've known since day one, that you will take with you into your experience even beyond Baylor. So thanks for coming. Thanks for logging in. And if you have any other questions, I think Cameron put our emails up.
I did, yes.
Or you guys want, Cameron, do you want them just to call you later? Totally kidding, man. You're totally fine. I think
Yeah, guys,
he prefers you email us rather than just call.
Yeah.
Let me put Kevin's phone number up. No, I'm totally kidding.
Feel free to reach out with any questions, y'all. There are no stupid questions. We are here to help, and we are so excited that y'all are interested in Baylor and attending Premier. And again, cannot emphasize this enough. We're so glad that y'all stopped by today, and hope you enjoy the rest of your Premier experience.
Thanks, everybody.
Absolutely. Bye. Thank you.
Okay, and Dr. White, I guess I'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, I'll see you in 90 seconds.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.